Hi, my name is Rebecca and welcome to my channel. I like to add a few different pieces to my holiday decor every now and then, and I don't like to spend a lot of money. And the most cost-effective way to change up your look or add in pieces is through a floral arrangement. A lot of people find florals very intimidating. They're not. They're very simple. And so let me show you what I did with a few pieces from the Dollar Tree. In the party section at Dollar Tree, I noticed that they had this beautiful plastic silver ice bucket, and I thought it would be a beautiful container. They have had some absolutely gorgeous items for entertaining through the holiday season that you could keep or toss. And I had this pumpkin that I tucked away, this carvable pumpkin tucked away. And I decided that I was going to use that to be my foam piece and the anchor for my floral arrangement. I picked up several picks and I listed them on the screen because I had to count them actually as I was watching the video back to make sure that I had the count right. I'm going to use some floral moss that I had purchased for 75 cents on clearance at Walmart. I don't pass up that clearance aisle either. There are some truly phenomenal buys that you can get. And I'm just going to lay the pumpkin inside the bucket, and then I will put the floral moss on the top of the carvable pumpkin. I'm not going to hot glue any of this so that when it comes to the end of the Christmas season, I can dismantle this and store it. And if I want to put it back together next year or create something new and different, then I have these items, but they're easier to store. I just covered the carvable pumpkin pretty well. You don't have to get full coverage on this because once you get it very full, then you're not going to notice. So I concentrated mostly around the edges. I found these two very full berry picks at Dollar Tree, and I had purchased two of them. And when you're bringing them home, you're always going to have some of the paint that has gotten knocked off of the little berries. So I just took my paint pen and kind of dotted some red over that, and then nobody will ever know. You can also kind of Mod Podge over them and sprinkle them with Epsom salts, and that's another way that you can camouflage the little dings and dents that happen in the store or when you're bringing them back to your home. So I just kind of dotted those, but I picked these picks out because they were very full and there was a lot of action going on these picks. And so I knew that two of them, if I put them in the center of this ice bucket, that I thought would be a wonderful container, that it would take up a lot of real estate. And then I try generally to pick out some florals, and I like when I'm picking out my picks to pick up some wispy, willowy type picks that will add a lot of depth and dimension to my floral and give it some interest so that everything is not at the same height and everything is not laying in there nice and uniform, because you want it to look very natural. So I just started clipping them off with my wire cutters, and I started around the perimeter, and I made sure that I had an even amount around the perimeter, and then I went directly to the center. And once I had that finished, then I went ahead with the rest of the picks that I had, and I just put them in between the picks that I already had at a different angle so that it would have a lot of height and depth and character. The florals that I chose were poinsettias, and I had chose the poinsettia picks that had these smaller poinsettias on them because there were several poinsettias to one pick. So I knew once I clipped them off that I had a lot of floral options when I started adding these into my piece. So I picked up a gold and then I picked up a silver because I just wanted to do a rustic, elegant, kind of glamour look to my holiday decor that I already had, and I just wanted to kind of spruce that up. And I do love the silvers and golds for Christmas, but honestly, I just can't pick between silver or gold because I just love them both. And so I just started filling in these spots that I felt like needed some florals to it, that maybe there was a hole, and I just kind of let my eye figure out where those needed to be. And then I made sure that when I put my silver poinsettias in, that I didn't have two silvers together or two golds together. I just wanted to make sure that they were all evenly dispersed. If you find floral arranging intimidating, and a lot of people do, it's very simple. And really, if you have a creative eye, anyone can do it. I try to start in the top, the center, and then I try to work around the side. Sometimes it's easier to start with a round piece until you get the feel of it. You get a little bit of experience, and then you can move on to more elaborate projects. I picked up this ribbon at the Dollar General back in the fall, and I thought it was so pretty. And I'm not only mixing my metals, but I'm mixing my patterns this year as well. And so I'm going to put two bows on either side so that my container does not look like an ice bucket. I just wanted to camouflage that. So the best and easy way to make a bow is to just loop it around on itself, cut it off, cinch it up in the middle, put a chip clip or a clothespin around that, and move on to the next ribbon. I'm using 3 different styles of ribbon and I'm mixing them up. But once I have everything chip clipped together, then I want to cut my tails off and put them in with my piece. I wanted them in various lengths. So I cut one of each type of ribbon that I'm using, and I cinched that up in the middle, and that is going to be the tails of my ribbon. When I put my bow together, I lay my ribbons at a diagonal, not on top of each other. They are on top of each other, but they are laying at a diagonal. And then I just took a zip tie, a black zip tie. I bought them at the Dollar Tree, and then I just zip tied that as tightly as I could. There are a lot of bow tutorials on YouTube. This is a very simple bow that anyone can accomplish. And if you use a zip tie and you fasten it in the middle very, very tight, then you can fluff those and pull those bow loops around and make them stand up and arrange them however you like. Always remember to dovetail the ends. You just fold it over and cut it upwards at a diagonal to make the ends look very finished and boutique. And I always make sure that all of my ends are dovetailed. And that is a little bit time consuming, but it makes it look very, very high end and very finished. And the trick to bow making is just keep fluffing. You fluff and you fluff and you look at it at several different angles and you just keep fluffing. And I like to use zip ties for these bows because you can really put some muscle behind it and you can really get some good fluffing to your bows and make them look so nice and full. When I have everything fluffed out and everything arranged the way I think that it's looking good to my eye and the way I think I want it to lay, then I just took a stem that I had trimmed off of one of the floral picks when I had put it into the floral arrangement, and I just slid that up into the zip tie and into the bow. If you don't have enough room for that and you have a really good grip or really tight grip on your zip tie, and make sure you trim off the end of your zip tie, then you can always hot glue that to a piece of your floral stem and use that to hold the bow into the styrofoam. I made 2 bows and I put one on either side of the floral arrangement, and I thought that it turned out absolutely beautiful. I have $12.75 in this floral piece. It looks a lot more high-end and a lot more expensive than $12.75, and it's a very good way to add a lot of bang for your buck and a good, very cost-effective way to change up your holiday decor. I paired it with the taper candles that I had created in the last video, and I will link that in the description box below. So I hope that I gave you some inspiration to design a floral piece for your decor, for your taste and what suits your decor. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell so that you know when I've uploaded my next video. Give me a thumbs up. Welcome to all my new subscribers, and thank you so much for watching Crafts, Laughs, and Chaos.